Okay. These eyes. Do you see these eyes? These eyes have seen Noel Fielding live and in person. Oh my god, best day ever. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm jumping up and down. I know you saw some motion. There was motion. That was me jumping for joy because how tall is Noel Fielding live in person? Noel Fielding. I can't even say his name because he's whoa. Okay, yeah. So I didn't get to meet him. I didn't think I was gonna get to meet him, but it's okay because I'm gonna meet him later, and this is gonna be a total conversation opener when I meet him in LA, and hopefully can get an interview with him with Trixie for the Velvet Onion when he's doing something in LA. Like he says he's coming to do something in LA next year, so that's really exciting. Then I can be like, hey, I was actually in London when you did the Let's Dance for Comic Relief thing, and you were gorgeous. You actually made me think that I might be a lesbian because you looked like a woman, but I was still attracted to you. Oh, okay, but anyway, we don't have to talk about that, but we are going to talk about my day because it was amazing. Anyway, so I got there really early, and it was really confusing because there were like I can't do three with this hand, so three places that called itself the Erling Studios. So I was like, no one was, excuse me, sorry. No one was in line when I got there because I got there really early, as you know. So I just decided to walk around for a bit until the line started forming. So I walked through the park, went to Starbucks. I had a really disgusting experience in Starbucks because the sink was out of soap. I went to the bathroom and the sink was out of soap, so I ended up like freaking out, but I went to the other bathroom because there were two, and I went to the other one and stole soap from there, so it was okay. Got some lunch, which was really good, which actually ended up not being really good because I kind of had to pee through the whole like show, but it was alright because Noel was pretty early in the lineup, so I was like, worst comes to worst, I can totally leave from here and still be happy because I saw Noel Fielding. Can't say it enough. I've seen Noel Fielding. It's so exciting. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so when the line started forming finally, I went there and I got in line. I was number 9 in line, which still says I'm a dedicated fan, but I'm not a stalker. So that's good. And it sort of stopped raining at one point, started up again, and I realized I was the only person there without an umbrella. And I was pretty much advertising the fact that I'm from California and don't know how to use an umbrella or hate umbrellas. Your pick. But anyway, I'm standing in line and I look to the people right next to me and I see a couple of Velvet Onion badges and I'm like, oh boy, these people. So I asked and I was like, are those Velvet Onion badges? And they were like, well, yes, actually they are. And I was like, I just won one of those in your competition. And they were like, oh, that's great. What's your name? And I was like, I'm Ariel. I'm from California. You know, I love your blog. I actually met Trixie in California somewhere. Oh, well, she's nice, ain't she? Yeah, she's very stylish. We actually thought that's how all Californians looked. And I was like, no, definitely not. And they were like, oh, well, it's nice, yeah, well, it's good that you like, blah, blah, blah. We talked for a little bit. So that was really cool. And it was really cool. When I say really cool, I mean like totally super cool. Anyway, and they gave me this cool purple wristband and let us in. And they eventually were like, oh, yeah, well, we're going to let you in by numerical order so you can leave for a while and come back. And I knew that was BS because I was like, they aren't going to check. Anyway, so they didn't check, so people left, and I ended up being like the first person to walk into the studio. It was really exciting. And when they gave me the wristband, the guy's like, okay, what's your name? And then he was like, do you want to dance or do you want to sit? And I was like, that's a weird question. I've never had to answer that before. And the two girls from the Velvet Onion and the guy taking names was like, dance. And they were all like, dance. And I was like, okay, peer pressure, I will dance. If that gets me any closer to the stage, I will do it. And lucky for me, it did get me closer to the stage. And while I was in the waiting room, I met some other girl with purple wristband who, I don't remember where she's from. I think Shepherd's Bush or something, but she's the local, so that was really cool. And she was on her own as well, so we just started talking. She was really cool. She likes Wicked and she likes comedy. So, awesome. And then went inside and I was friggin' front row of the mosh pit, which was really exciting. Let's say this bar is the stage. I was right here, okay? This hand, this stage, okay? I was like this close. See the mirror? See us in the mirror? That's how close I was to effing Noel Fielding. I'm dancing again. I don't know if you can see it. But okay, what time are we at? 5 minutes. These always seem so much longer than they actually are. Like, I feel like I've been talking for 20 minutes. I digress. Anyway, they did a few, like, cool things at first. Some guy singer that I've never heard of. All these people I've never heard of before except Nola, and he was the only reason I was there. Anyway, there's this whole section over on this side of the room. I'm gonna pretend that you guys are there, even though you're not. This section of the room over here, there's some really hip tables set up, and I'm like, dude, who got lucky enough to sit over there? Well, they announce that. Well, before they announced it, I was like looking, and I was like, well, there's Paloma Faith. I recognize her, and there's a guy over there that looks super duper familiar. He's got like gray hair and a stash, and I was like, I mean, nobody should look familiar here. I'm not from here, so I don't know how I would know anybody that's here. Anyway, they announce that those are friends and family of the dancers, and guess who it was? Friggin' Noel Fielding's father. And I was like, that's why you look familiar. I see you on the show. Anyway, yeah, his mom was there too, but I couldn't see her because she was like behind the dad. Paloma Faith was there for Noel, and Liliana Bird, I think her name is. I'm not really sure, but she's like rumored to be like really close to Noel. She was there wearing a mirror ball suit with half of her head shaved. So that was really weird. But hey, that was really weird, so it kind of makes sense. Anyway, so then they had a singer guy come on and do a song. They had some girl dance really badly to Britney Spears. She didn't like dance at all. She was just like doing this. I was like, you should definitely not win because you're not even trying. And this woman named Lulu came out and did like a really good Crank That Soldier Boy. And I was like, yeah, girl, get it. And then, of course, my man comes out in this, well, let me tell you about his video first, because they each had to make a video about like how they did, and it was really funny because everybody else's was like straight-laced, like, oh, this happened to me when I was learning dance or whatever. Noel's was like, I was really nervous about having to dance, so I thought, I'll just go hide in the forest, they'll never find me there. Well, while I was there, a miracle happened. I ran into a fairy and she taught me how to dance. The fairy's like, it's okay, I got you magic dancing shoes. They're made out of frozen unicorn tears. And he's like, is this a joke? There's just water in here. And she's like, sorry mate, it must melt too. Anyway, it was really funny. It was really funny. I hope that's on YouTube later because I kind of want to watch it a million times. Anyway, then he comes out live and in person. There's smoke all over the stage, and all of a sudden this just comes out like doing weird like hand movements. Hopefully this is on YouTube too because I'm not doing it justice by any means. He comes out and starts doing all this weird like, can you still see me? He's doing weird like this. Like that. And then he's all doing some, I don't know, but he's like sneaking about like that. And there's two girls behind him and he looks at him and goes, and then they're like, and then he like does this thing and he goes in front of the judges, pulls up like a pile of leaves and like chucks them in the air. Then he goes up to the judge on the end, gives him a kiss, and like goes back and just starts, I don't know, it was magical, the whole thing. I was like, oh my god, that's Noel Fielding. Like the whole time, all I could think of was like, oh my god. And at this point, I had to pee really bad, but I was like, forgot all about it because Noel Fielding was there. It was amazing. I wish it was longer. Anyway, it ended. That's the sad news. My arm's getting tired now. Anyway, what other acts came on? They all did pretty well. I can't actually remember anymore at this point. Oh, some girl did Michael Jackson's Bad, and then there was a tap dancing duo, and then there's some guy who did like Madonna or something. I don't know. Anyway, they counted the votes because they have everybody vote, and all the proceeds go to a charity called Comic Relief, which is a really cool charity. Like, you do funny stuff for money. So I think we should totally do stuff like this in the States. I think there is a States version, but it's obviously not as cool because Noel Fielding isn't involved. Anyway, so then they counted all the votes, they tallied it all up, and the first person who got kicked off was the Britney Spears girl. Good, because she was not good. And then the guy who did Madonna. And then the girl who did Michael Jackson was kicked off too. So the last three were Lulu, Noel, and the tap dancer guys. And the tap dancer guys ended up getting the most votes, so they were saved. And then the judges had to pick between Noel and Lulu. And I felt terrible because, like, everybody in the mosh pit were like, Lulu, and I was like, no. And every time they said his name, I was like, bah! Like, I was screaming for him the whole time, and it was really ridiculous. Because, like, anyway, he got voted in by the panel, so he's going to be in the final on March 12th, and I'm so excited for him because he did an amazing job. And I was pissed off because after that, like, everybody started cheering for him, even though nobody was cheering for him in the beginning. And so he was like, yeah, and he had like a clown red nose because that's like the symbol of the whole charity. And he takes his nose off and chucks it to the girls who were yelling for Lulu. And I was like, excuse me, sir. Hi, I've been an avid supporter of yours this whole time, okay? I'm a pioneer bushman in America. I was recognized off the street by Rich Fulcher, so you better give me that nose. Anyway, but whatever, it's okay, because we're gonna meet later and make friends and stuff, so I can wait. I can wait. Hear that? Just to be in the man's presence was enough. This man, I'm not even convinced he's a man. I think he's like a magical creature or something. I'm not kidding. I think he has like supernatural, like, ooh, I don't know what you would call that, but he's not a dude. He's a mythical creature. Very attractive mythical creature. Anyway, it was really funny. I forgot to tell you, there was a sing-along before the show even started. They put on songs and had us do a sing-along, and then they taught us some disco moves, and it was really fun. So overall, amazing night. The only thing that could have made it better is if I got to meet him, but, you know, he's a busy man. Busy, important, working for charity, doing dancing, crazy. But I just want to say my life is substantially better than it was yesterday, and it's going to get substantially better again when I see him and get to talk to him about how I thought he was amazing the whole time. Woo. Okay, thanks for sharing this with me. I wish you guys were there because it would have been a lot cooler, I think, to dance next to you versus dancing sort of by my lonesome. And it would have been helpful to, when I started getting faint, to have somebody there to catch me, because I was a little, like, it was a range of emotions, pulling shapes, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna have good dreams tonight. We'll just say that. Alright, I love you all so much. I wish you were there. Love you, bye.